Bah! Say It Sunday, number 41. This is my final closing diabetes series, so part number 4. All right, guys, as I said, happy Sunday. So let's do a quick recap. So as you all know, we were talking about type 1 diabetes. Remember, type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease. And autoimmune disease is when the body's immune system attacks the healthy cells, and in this case, the pancreas. Remember the pancreas, the little girdle-shaped organ that sits under the gallbladder near the stomach there? And he's the one that excretes insulin. So, in type 1 diabetes, what's happening again internally? So it's the pancreas stops working, okay? Doesn't produce any insulin at all, okay? If it does, it's not enough to actually control and stabilize our glucose or our blood sugar levels, so things become very dangerous. So what I've done this week, guys, I've split it into risk factors, symptoms, and on the other side, I'm going to talk about treatment, prevention, some nutrition, and the difference between management and reversal between the type 1 and the type 2 to close this series off. All right, guys, I'll continue to move through. Again, guys, I am not a doctor. I am not telling you what to do. I am an advocate. I am passionate about health, lifestyle, living, and I just want to share real information that is updated, not old, not outdated, okay? I just want people to make more informed decisions about their health and their lifestyle. That is it. Okay, so risk factors, guys, inside of type 1 diabetes are genetics will have quite a heavy contribution to your potential risk factor in there. Now they say that with some of the research being done there is like some viral infections can also trigger your type 1 diabetes. So you're basically looking at, obviously, if a viral infection got into the pancreas, this could be something that may shut it down and stop it from working altogether. Now, lifestyle, I put a little red circle around that. I still strongly believe that lifestyle will have a contribution or a contributing factor, maybe not a whole lot to the type 1 if you're already really heavily predisposed, but I tell you what, if your lifestyle is pretty crappy, it's not going to help you regardless, okay? So that's why I keep going back. Lifestyle, guys, lifestyle will help you or reduce your risk in absolutely anything. Age group, okay, so type 1 diabetes is commonly being diagnosed around the ages between 4 and 7 or around 10 and 14. In very rare cases later in life, but the majority of type 1 diabetes diagnosis is happening around that 4 to 7, 10 to 14-year-old age bracket. Okay, now some of the symptoms, all right, of being a type 1 diabetic that they will experience is a thirst that cannot be quenched, okay, so always wanting water, but with that also excessive urine passing, okay, so the body's not able to retain and uptake the water, so it's in and out, okay, so that's definitely a common symptom there. Tiredness as well, some of that lethargic fatigue type feeling, unnecessary weight loss, all right, that you're not actually trying to lose weight, but your body is dropping weight. And this would obviously sort of come down to that weight loss would be a large factor or a large part of that would be your water weight there as well. And dehydration, obviously, all linked into the water there. Feeling just unwell, like just feeling crappy overall. And so they're basically kind of some of what we would call the main symptoms there. Now, a lot of these symptoms, guys, will be linked into many other sorts of lifestyle diseases, chronic diseases and things like that. But if you have one or many of these in your life, okay, I suggest you see your GP and have your blood glucose tested. All right, just going to flip this over here, legends. So, welcome to my breakdown. Treatment of type 1 diabetes. Commonly, insulin injections every single day, okay? So type 1 diabetics will inject themselves with insulin every single day. Remember, insulin comes from the pancreas, but we don't have a pancreas when we have type 1 diabetes, so we must administer it via injection. Now there's also these new insulin pumps that also deliver insulin, and they can sort of sit just below the skin. So the technology is moving rapidly, okay, to really accommodate and look after the type 1 diabetics, which is really exciting. And obviously with the treatment, it's all about controlling and stabilizing glucose levels. Now, prevention. Currently, there is no real prevention, okay? It's all about living the healthiest possible lifestyle you can to minimize your chance of getting absolutely anything. Remember, there is no silver bullet for any or diet for anything, okay? But it will minimize and reduce your risks, and that's what it's all about, okay? Putting less bullets in the Russian roulette game. So, why not live as healthy as possible, okay? Why not? The more unhealthy we live, guys, okay, the bigger the gates are, which means that there's more opportunity for disease, chronic disease, lifestyle, all these things, cancers and everything about coming in and making us unwell. Researchers are working on methods to minimize further pancreas cell destruction. So as I said, it's an autoimmune deficiency where the body, its immune response is to attack the healthy cells, okay, which the body is a little bit confused on what's happening there. So researchers are trying to minimize the amount of cells that actually are destroyed in that process. So still happening at the moment, so fingers crossed, all right, and see what happens in the future. Moving up here, guys, nutrition. It's all about nutrition, man. Everything starts with food, okay? Everything starts with the food. Now, food is extremely important, most definitely in managing type 1 diabetes, okay? I'm going to talk about management and reversal in type 1 and type 2 in a moment. But these are essentially our substrates, or our macronutrients, so protein, fat, carbohydrate. Now, remember, these are all essential for us to survive. Carbohydrate is what converts into glucose. Now, we need not to be scared of carbohydrate being a diabetic unless you're going to eat absolutely crappy carbohydrates. Now, carbohydrates are, say, in processed foods such as sugary drinks, packets of chips, lollies, cakes, biscuits, so all these things that have all these refined sugars in them with absolutely no fiber in there, okay, these are going to spike our blood sugar through the roof. Now, dairy also has quite a lot of sugar in there, so lactose, okay, so that is a sugar found in dairy. So those of you that consume a lot of dairy products, you're also going to contribute to an increase in your blood sugar level. There's also a lot of saturated fat in dairy too, so overconsumption of that will essentially sort of put you down as a insulin resistant type condition if things do progress. If you aren't diagnosed as a type 1 diabetic, okay, and you do consume a lot of dairy, then that can sort of happen there as well. But working off a type 1 diabetic, okay, you want to be minimizing your dairy most definitely. Fruit and other veg, okay, remember eating the fruit whole. Having the fruit as a juice, you've lost a lot of the fiber, okay. There's many doctors, scientists, there's a heap of guys out there at the moment, they're all type 1 diabetics, they're actually doing hardcore evidential scientific research showing that by eating whole food, plant-based diets, okay, have most definitely allowed a type 1 diabetic to, as being themselves, to live a longer, more prosperous and healthier and more manageable life, okay? So fruit in its whole form. Other veg in its whole form. Starchy veg, doesn't matter. Potatoes in its whole form. Okay, legumes, beans, lentils, chickpeas, all those things. Whole grains. Now, as soon as you take the grain, you mash it into flour, all of a sudden you're losing a lot of that fiber. Things like brown rice, keeping the husk on there. Taking quinoa as an option. Okay, the whiter the product, the less fiber it has. So the whiter it is, the more of a response it has on your blood sugar level. Okay, the heavier and the grainier it is and the kind of more grit about it, the fuller you'll feel, and the lower or the more stable your blood sugar will be. Remember, fiber slows down the process of carbohydrate turning to glucose. All right, I'm going to close this off. Management versus reversal. You cannot reverse type 1 diabetes. You can only manage it. Okay, type 2 diabetes. Not only can you manage it, you can reverse it, okay? Type 2 diabetes can be reversed if detected early enough and managed by a professional and can lead you down the path to reverse that lifestyle disease. whereas type 1 can only be managed to a healthy level. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that. That's diabetes clean cut. Say It's Sunday number 41, part 4, series done and dusted. A surprise for coming what's next week. Peace. Stay stronger, healthier, live longer. Stick to the damn plan. Remember, subscribe to my channel. Share it with people if you love it. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Boo.